Bad Bunny has officially captured the hearts of the world, including that of my 61-year-old father, who called me and asked for a Benito Bowl breakdown so that he and the rest of America can pick up what Benito was putting down. Así que, papá, esto es para ti. Now, the first thing that stood out to me was a very intentional message of black and brown solidarity entre los afroamericanos y los latinos en Estados Unidos. We see this as soon as the performance begins in the sugar cane fields of Puerto Rico, where enslaved Africans, indigenous Taínos, and mestizo Puerto Ricans were subjected to forced labor in sugar cultivation under both Spanish and U.S. colonial rule, dating all the way back to the 16th century and continuing well into the 20th century. And because this history hasn't been a part of mainstream discourse, there's often this idea in the U.S. that Latinos and Black Americans don't share similar struggles. Yet, this performance highlighted how both communities have been shaped by systems of racialized slavery and colonial labor exploitation in both Puerto Rico and on the mainland. Y yo, como afrodescendiente que aprendí español acá en Estados Unidos, rodeado de latinos, esta fue la parte que a mí más me impresionó. Same struggle, different boat stop. Then there's the solidarity between island nations, which was underscored by Ricky Martin's performance of Lo que pasó a Hawaiʻi. Now, Benito wrote this song to draw a cautionary parallel between US colonial rule in Hawaii and the potential future of his homeland. Because if Puerto Rico does become a US state, the song warns that similar patterns of cultural erosion, displacement, and loss of sovereignty could repeat themselves on Borinquen, just as they did on Hawaii. And finally, we have the solidarity among the Puerto Rican diaspora and the wider Latino community. Historically, there's been somewhat of a cultural rift entre los boricuas que nacieron en la isla y los que nacieron en Estados Unidos. And something I've noticed since Bad Bunny's meteoric ascent is that this rift is actually beginning to close, especially between New York Puerto Ricans and island-born Puerto Ricans. And as someone who lived in New York City for over a decade and has traveled to Puerto Rico regularly over the past 11 years, Benito's performance to me felt equally Nuyorican y Boricua a la vez. Between his performance of Verano in Nueva York and the Puerto Rican abuelita accepting EBT at the Uptown Bodega, the message was loud and clear. From the island of Manhattan to the island of Borinquen, Puerto Ricans are still one people. And to close the performance by naming all the countries of the Americas, most of which are Spanish-speaking Latino countries, that solidified the message of unity and solidarity even further. One band, one sound. And that is why